Welcome back. My next guest has been campaigning with former President Trump and has been in the courtroom with him. Joining me now is North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Governor, thanks so much for being here this morning. We so appreciate it. I want to get your reaction to President Trump being found guilty on 34 counts yesterday.
Well, Maria, great to be with you. But yes, Alvin Bragg stepped out in front of the cameras yesterday and he said, "I've done my job." He, of course, was talking to Joe Biden, but now the rest of America gets to do their job. And it started yesterday. You've seen the response, whether it's the Donald J. Trump website going down because so many people are trying to donate. I mean, my phone has been blowing up. I had a retired couple that probably has never been able to donate at a significant level, maybe, you know, $10 here or there, sent me a message and said they were going to give $1,000 to President Trump. And this is because the issues across America, why this verdict is not going to matter at all. Because if you were yesterday morning, if you're an independent, a Republican, a Democrat, struggling with inflation, concerned about the border, concerned about wars overseas, you wake up today, all those issues are still here. And President Trump has the answers. He's been strong on those. Joe Biden's been weak. And this is not going to change the outcome of the election.
Well, I mean, it was surprising to see a unanimous guilty verdict, frankly. The judge, of course, tried everything he could in every which way to make it, you know, pick a crime, any crime you want. Perhaps that was part of it. But I feel like it's going to take a little time, 72 hours, 48 hours or so, to actually have people react and to see if this has any impact on the election. What's your take?
Well, I think the reaction was almost instant yesterday, which is that people understood that President Trump can't get a fair trial in New York City any more than, you know, if Joe Biden probably would struggle if he was in the reddest county of Texas and was up against a judge that had donated to President Trump. I mean, if you flip the script the other way around, people would be screaming about how unfair it was. So this is it was a sad day for America yesterday because we see the weaponization of the Justice Department. But today I'm optimistic because when I see that people that have never been involved, never donated to a candidate before are coming and saying, look, we have to get behind President Trump because we've got to get this country turned around and go in a different direction, whether it's on the border, on inflation, the economy, the wars overseas. When they were giggling yesterday and laughing about the Trump conviction in the Alvin Bragg conference, the other people that were laughing was probably, you know, Putin, the Ayatollahs, President Xi in China. I mean, those folks would all love to have 4 more years of Joe Biden's weakness, because when he takes our energy sector down, that helps them drive their revenues, that pays for the wars that we're battling around the world. So I mean, this is an upside down world, but I think again, people are rallying, and you're seeing it today.
Well, we're going to see President Trump up close and personal, one-on-one, mano-to-mano with Joe Biden on June 27th. Kellyanne, jump in here. It does not appear that this verdict will have any impact on that upcoming debate, and that's when the people are really going to see really what's at stake here.
Yes, I've been in the room with President Trump in 2016, certainly the only woman in the room for debate prep in 2020, even though I had left the White House here and there for debate prep. My advice to him is let Joe Biden talk about Trump and let Trump talk to the people and about the people. Because people are starving for solutions and specifics, and they want politicians who finish their sentences. They need leaders, not cheaters. This was a disgrace to the system, obviously. We've got Hunter Biden's trial coming up on Monday, everybody. Again, be careful what you wish for. I've got true evidence already afoot there. But in this debate, President Trump needs to show the binary choice people have. Yes, they will see, side by side, Maria, the energy, the acuity, the agility, the ability between these two men. We have no evidence Joe Biden can stand anywhere for 90 minutes, let alone without the benefit of a teleprompter, cue cards, or a do-over. But seriously speaking, let Trump talk about all these policies, transport us back to his presidency pre-COVID, and transport us forward to next year, where we feel everyday quality of life, affordability, security at the border, abroad, in our own communities, will improve measurably if he's president. Right. That's the key for these debates. I'm surprised Biden thought it was a good idea for him. And Biden's going to talk about Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump should talk about we the people.
Well, Governor, look, let's face it, President Trump, this is not over. President Trump is still facing 50-plus felonies. in 3 other criminal trials. We're also waiting on the Supreme Court as the Supreme Court debates and considers the presidential immunity for the January 6th case. That has not stopped several Wall Street billionaires from getting behind Trump. What are you seeing on the fundraising side, Governor? We're waiting on Bill Ackman, the hedge fund billionaire. He's about to endorse Trump, we're told. Steve Schwarzman from the Blackstone Group finally came around last week. What are you seeing when you talk to people? Have you gotten a sense of it after the verdict?
Well, when you talk about these business leaders, I see them as job creators. These are people that they're successful. They've created jobs across multiple industries. They understand what the people that work for them on the front lines, whether it's in manufacturing or supply chain, transportation, you name the field in, they understand how those team members are hurting. And these are the smart business people understand what the average American is going through, because they're either their team members or they're their customers. And that's why these folks are coming around and supporting. So whether it's, a farmer in North Dakota that's having coffee with his neighbors this morning before they go out and work in the field, or whether it's somebody that's been a very successful business person, whether Silicon Valley or Wall Street, doesn't matter. They all see the same thing. They see that President Trump, when he was leading the economy, we had interest rates were low, inflation was down. I mean, now we have exactly the opposite. When they take a look at these companies around the world under Joe Biden, they see us being in wars. They see Biden leading an attack on U.S. industry, and particularly whether it's our electrical base load or whether it's our energy industry, it's an attack. So the business guys can all get it figured out that there's only one choice here, and that choice is President Trump.
By the way, you've done a great job in North Dakota. Yours is an energy state. We have the capacity to be the #1 energy producer. Do you want to be energy secretary or vice president?
Well, I'm not doing any of this for a job, in the future administration. It wasn't why when I ran for president, and it's not why I'm supporting President Trump now. He's got so many fantastic choices. And matter of fact, for vice president, he doesn't actually need a vice president because he's gaining among young people under age 30. He's gaining with African Americans, Hispanic Americans. This guy could win on his own. He's got a lot of fantastic choices, and he'll make that choice at the time of his choosing. But it's right. But the most important thing is that President Trump's back in the White House.
Well, this climate change agenda has hurt more than one industry out there. So I wanted to get your take on the energy capacity. But Governor, it's great to see you. I hope you'll come back soon. Thank you so much, Governor Doug Burgum. We'll be right back.